Welcome back to ReadingBear. Today, we will take a look at some new relationship advice stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The next one is titled, My Dad's 43 Girlfriend is Trying to Get Rid of Me, 15F. My mum passed away 5 years ago and I think of her every day. My dad went through a really bad depression and I had to take care of myself basically. During the Christmas holidays, my dad told me that he had been seeing someone for a while. I noticed that he was happier and I guess I was happy for him. I didn't want him to be lonely forever, but I did feel like my mum was being erased completely. He never wanted to talk about her and he got rid of all pictures with her in them. He said that his GF will be spending Christmas with us and then moving in. I wasn't happy at all. I don't even know her, but I didn't say anything. I met her on Christmas and usually my dad and I put the star on the tree that day. We would put the star on the tree and watch The Grinch. It's our tradition and we kept it even when we were grieving my mum. It's the only tradition from when she was with us that we actually kept. When his girlfriend came over, he put the star on with her while I was in the bathroom. Also, we didn't watch The Grinch because she hates it. I know I sound spoiled and childish, but I was so angry. We've been doing this my whole life and she just came in and destroyed it. The whole night she didn't even bother getting to know me at all. She was all over my dad and pretty much ignored me. I told my dad about how upset I was about our tradition and he said I should grow up and that things change. I didn't like her because she gave me a bad feeling, so I never got close to her. She complained to my dad about it and he got mad at me for not making her feel welcomed. I felt bad because she makes my dad really happy, so I tried being more friendly with her. In front of my dad she was nice to me, but when we were alone she ignored me or spoke to me with attitude. She even told me that I was a brat and I make my dad's life harder. I told him, but he didn't believe me and yelled at me for trying to sabotage his relationship. He said that I wanted him to die alone and be sad and that I was selfish. I was so shocked because none of it is true. My dad basically treated me like I wasn't there at all after that. I felt like I did when my mum died, all alone. I stayed up really late one night because I just couldn't sleep and wanted to sneak in a midnight snack. The GF was in the kitchen on FaceTime, so I decided to be nosy and listen. She was talking about my dad and how much she loves him. Then she said that he had this dumb daughter and she wondered if it was too late for adoption. Her and her friend laughed at that. She said that I was a little BTCH and she hated me. Her friend then said something about boarding school or military school, but I left so I didn't hear the rest. I was so exhausted from all the crying I did, so I actually slept. I didn't tell my dad and I don't even know if I should, since he probably won't believe me. I really miss my mum. I kinda want to go live with my grandparents, mum's parents, now, but I don't want my dad to think that I'm leaving him. What do I do? Can I even do anything? How do I get my dad to listen to me? Would I be wrong for leaving? The next one is titled, Update, My Dad's 43 Girlfriend is Trying to Get Rid of Me, 15F. Hi. Since my last post I spoke to my grandparents and told them everything. I asked if I could stay with them if I wanted to and they agreed. I then spoke to my dad again and tried to tell him how I felt and what I had heard. I didn't want to film or record because I knew that he would be mad at that and wouldn't listen. He didn't believe me again and thought that I was jealous of having to share him with someone else. I got upset and told him that I was leaving so he could live happily ever after without the burden of having me around. He looked shocked but didn't say anything. I had already packed my bags and had brought some things to my grandparents' house already. My dad didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. My grandfather picked me up and I've been there since. I haven't gone home and I haven't heard from my dad. My grandparents told me that they would handle my dad and that I shouldn't have to be the one doing it. I'm upset that my dad hasn't called or texted me once to see if I'm okay. At the same time, I'm feeling so much better being with my grandparents. My grandmother is probably the sweetest person ever and my grandfather is a little rough around the edges, but he's really a softie. The next one is titled, My 40F Husband, 39 meters, admitted to me that he has been cheating on me with his cousin for a majority of our marriage. My husband's cousin recently was killed in a car accident 3 weeks ago. This has made my husband visibly depressed and a lot less like himself lately. Tonight when I got home from work, he had our 2 kids go spend the night at his mother's place and had made us dinner. After dinner he sat me down and told me that I needed to prepare myself for what he was going to say. He then proceeded to tell me about his affair. To sum some things up, he essentially had been doing sexual things with his cousin since she seduced him when she was 13 and he was 16. This sexual activities went on through their adulthood up until he started to date me. After we got married, things didn't happen between him or his cousin until around 4 years into our marriage, when she supposedly convinced him to continue their sexual activities on the side. We've been married for a little over 15 years for context. This has continued up until 3 weeks ago, as you can imagine. He told me to take it as I will and he'll accept anything I choose to do considering our marriage. His cousin apparently was a lot more than just some sex fling. I've never would have expected my husband to be cheating. He never did anything that would give it red flags, like coming in late or leaving hair of another woman around. I'm at a standstill and not sure where to go from here. I haven't been able to say anything to him after he was so blunt about it. I'm still crying some now. I don't know where to go from where. Any suggestions are welcome. The next one is titled, Update. My 40F husband, 39 meters, admitted to me that he has been cheating on me with his cousin for a majority of our marriage. I want to first say that I appreciate all of the support I've received after posting my first post. I have thought a lot on the suggestions that I've been given and decided to go forward on some. I've talked with my mother about the situation and she's agreed to take in my children until this situation is dealt with. I've also approached my husband about divorce and put my demands about wanting full custody of our children as well as the house and other things. He hasn't put up a fight regarding any of those and has agreed to it. It's been really hard to swallow all of this, and I'm looking for a lawyer now to help with the divorce. My mother has also suggested to keep the real reasoning of our divorce away from our children as long as possible, especially my eldest daughter, 14. This'll be my second and last post of this matter. I again want to express that I really appreciate all of the helpful comments and suggestions. Thank you all for the support. The next one is titled, My girlfriend, 24F, doesn't believe that I, 22 meters, was taken advantage of. My girlfriend and I were hanging out. I was playing a game and she was scrolling on her phone. We often just like to enjoy each other's company. I guess she was reading something because she just stated how it's so sad that every woman knows someone or has been someone who was sexually harassed and/or assaulted. I agreed and told her that it's horrible how many women do not feel safe in situations where they should. She then said that men are so lucky they don't deal with it. I didn't know if she was being serious at first, but she kept ranting. I told her that what men go through in life definitely doesn't compare to what women go through, but sexual assault is something that happens to men too. She then responded with, all men think about is sex. I took that as an opportunity to open up to her and tell her about how I was taken advantage of from the ages of 7 to 18 by a woman who I was supposed to trust. As a kid she used to touch me or make me touch her and call it our little secret. As I got older she got more aggressive with the sexual acts. It only stopped because she moved away. She kinda looked at me with a yeah right face and said that all boys dream of being with an older woman. She only agreed that it was messed up that I was so young when it started. She then said that I seemed to be okay, so it's not that bad. Women who go through it have so much mental and emotional damage, and that women aren't as scary as men. I honestly didn't even know what to say. I'm not okay, I guess I'm just good at hiding it. I use smoking as a coping mechanism and it's been an issue in our relationship. How do I navigate our relationship going forward? I'm not sure where this was coming from. Maybe she went through something too? IDK. The next one is titled, Update. My girlfriend, 24F, doesn't believe that I, 22 meters, was taken advantage of. I tried talking to her again and she apologized, but I could tell that she wasn't really sorry. She only did it because she had to, if that makes sense. I asked her how she would respond if we had a son and God forbid something happened to him. She didn't even respond. It reminded me of the way my parents responded when I told them. Crickets. I was 13 when I told them. In fact, they still keep contact with the woman, a family friend who was like an aunt to me. I broke up with her and explained to her why. She was pissed. called me every name in the book and said that it's fine because she didn't even like me that much anyway. I don't know how much of that is true or if she's saying it out of anger, but I don't care. Any doubt I felt about breaking up vanished with her response. I was fully willing to work on our relationship and give it another shot, but I guess I cared more about her than she did about me. I'm gonna stay with my sister for now. I think I need to be single. For some reason I've always been quick to jump into relationships and they all fail. My now ex-GF and I had some other issues that we've tried working through, but I can't work through this. I'm just gonna focus on myself moving forward. I've heard everything she's said before from both men and women, but having it directed at me from someone I care about really hurt. It's not something I could let go. I've dealt with a lot of confusion and guilt surrounding what happened that made me question myself. I didn't like what was happening to me, but my body would react. This really messed me up. I'm gonna work through my issues before I even think of another relationship. The next one is titled, I'm constantly being reminded that my brother is better than me. Everyone constantly says that my brother, M28, is better than me, M20, parents, cousins, aunts and uncles, teachers and even my own friends. It's been like that since I was 5 and it's not getting better. My brother never said anything like that, for which I love him so much, but every time I see him the only thing I see is something I'll never be. And he hasn't even done anything impressive. He still lives with my parents, but yeah, because of that I have zero confidence in me and I feel like I'll never achieve anything, and I'm not even trying because subconsciously I know I'll fail. Imagine every day being reminded that someone is better than you and that you'll never be better than them, every day for 15 years. Most of them say it jokingly, so every time I try to tell them that I'm not comfortable with it by not laughing or just look at them the wrong way. The only two people that I know who never said stuff like that are my cousin and my brother. My father even said that sometimes he feels like he loves that cousin more than he loves me and my brother in front of me, but after he realized how ducked up that is, he corrected himself by saying, not more but close to it. But yeah, I mentally suffer because of that every day and I have no one to share it with, and I can't just move out and start a new life. So yeah, I don't know what to do. By the way, sorry for my English, I recently started learning it. The next one is titled, Update, I'm constantly being reminded that my brother is better than me. First off, thank you everyone. I really needed that motivation to take control. And I'm sorry I didn't reply to everyone, just a lot of things happened. It happened this morning before my dad and brother went to work. My dad said, loosely translated, your brother already got a job, when are you going to get one? And I'm basically occupied with college because I'm mostly studying, and I got annoyed when he said that, and with the confidence you guys gave me I told him that I'm not comfortable with how everyone is treating me. He said that he was just joking and that I'm apparently still too young and he can't take me seriously. I basically said duck you, I'm leaving, and went to pack my stuff. He came after me and started pulling me, saying that I'm not going anywhere. I pushed him and told him that he doesn't decide anymore, and he told me if I leave this house I'm never welcomed again. I continued packing my stuff and he started getting physical and pushing me, so I pushed him back. He made a fist like he's going to punch me, but my brother stopped him and basically dragged him to the other room where I could hear them screaming at each other. I packed my stuff and went to a friend because I didn't know where to go. My friend skipped work so he can be with me in case something happened, still hasn't, and that I can stay with him as much as I have to. That all happened in the span of 3 hours and I'm still shaken, and I'll probably get a restraining order because if he pushes me again I'll probably hit him. My mum is blowing my phone all day but I'm not picking up, and I think I'm done with this family. I just hope nothing serious happens. Update 2, I talked with my brother to meet up somewhere so he can give me some documents I needed, and we met. We talked for a bit, but he basically told me that my parents don't want to see me again and I was okay with it. He told me if I needed something from him to call him, but I don't think I will. I will be staying with my friend until the virus is over and I can find a place. He said he will hook me up for a month or 2 until I get my first paycheck, and after that I'll have to pay. I already found a job, it's not the best and it doesn't pay much, but I can't be a chooser right now. I guess my adult life begins. The next one is titled, My 29M wife, 27F, has been working from home the past few months and has started having her high school ex over a lot. I told her this is unacceptable. Am I the wrong for this? Hey everyone. I know that the title may sound confusing without the background that I am about to give. So ever since COVID started, my wife has been working from home. My job never let us do that, so I have still been driving to work every day. She has a friend that she occasionally hangs out with. He's been invited to hang out with both of us before too. He's nice, fun to hang around and pretty cool. I've had no problem with this. My wife made me aware pretty early on that she dated him in high school. She said that they dated their freshman and sophomore year. They never had sex but did mess around. They started reconnecting as friends during their senior year. At that time he had a girlfriend and she was starting to see another guy as well. She claims that after they broke up there was never anything romantic between them again. When COVID started, my wife said that she would be able to work from home. I was glad and happy for her as I knew it'd be easier and even save gas. She said that her friend was going to be able to work from home too, so they may meet up sometimes to go over their work and help each other. They both work in a similar field. One day I came home and noticed that he was there. I thought nothing of it really, as my wife had told me about this. They both had their computers and looked like they were working pretty hard. For a while it was like this. Suddenly a few weeks in I would come home and they would casually be hanging out and having fun. Sometimes they would be playing a game, sometimes they would be drinking, sometimes they would be eating. I started finding this a little bit weird. It seemed as though he was getting more attention than me and that she was having a better time with him than me. Then one day when I came home, it was the final straw. They were both on the couch and her head was in his lap while they were watching TV. I waited until he left and then had a talk with her. I was fuming. I yelled at her and told her that their actions have been unacceptable and that there's no reason that she should be laying with a friend like that. I expressed how I felt like she has been showing him more attention than her husband and that it seemed like they were having more fun together than we do. Not to mention that they had dated before and fooled around. She got really upset and said I had no right to tell her that she can no longer hang around someone. She was mad that I seemed to claim that she was cheating on me with him and swore that she was not and would not do that. She said that all they were doing was relaxing and that it was not wrong to lay her head on his lap. The last 2 days he has not been at the house when I got home. She says that she has not seen him since our talk. I apologized for being so angry about it. She doesn't seem like she has really accepted my apology, as she has been really quiet around me ever since. How do I make things better? Is she cheating? How do I handle things between her and this friend? The next one is titled, Update. My 29M wife, 27F, has been working from home the past few months and has started having her high school ex over a lot. I told her this is unacceptable. So last week I posted here about my wife spending time at our house with an old ex that she used to have from high school. He had been coming over and working from home with her ever since COVID started. At first I thought nothing of it, as they were just simply helping each other with their work. Then they started to hang out and stuff more. When I caught her laying down with her head in his lap, I had enough. I told her he could no longer come over. She was mad and took offense to this but agreed. Most people here agreed with me that it was sketchy for her to do this. I was made aware that he could still be coming over during the day and leaving before I get there. I ended up buying a camera that I could set up and hide while I am at work. I put one in the living room and one in the bedroom. The first day they were set up I saw nothing unusual. The second day was when it happened. The ex came over. At first they were just working, but then he started to get pretty touchy with her. It progressed until they needed up going to our bedroom and sleeping together. I was shocked. I wasn't sure what to do. As soon as I saw my wife again, I questioned her if she had been seeing him anymore. She denied it. I told her that I had cameras installed in the house. Her face changed completely then. She knew what I had seen. She immediately started crying. I told her to leave the house. She tried to apologize and explain, but I wasn't having any of it. Since then we have talked to each other once. I told her that I don't see how anything can happen besides a divorce. She said she doesn't want that and asked if I would go to couples counseling one time before making that final decision. I reluctantly agreed. I don't expect it to work and I'm mainly doing it to humor her. I'm still looking and trying to contact divorce attorneys as I'm typing this.